Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
In 1943, the long-running Amos-n-Andy show that was more a soap opera than a situation comedy evolved to a full-bore, half-hour weekly sitcom, situation comedy. And you're going to hear one of those early episodes. And the first season, they relied heavily over on NBC on guest stars. And that's who you're going to hear here. Guest star Peter Lorre in an episode of Amos-n-Andy from November 5th, 1943.
Good evening. The makers of the new Rinso bring you the Amos-n-Andy Show with their guest tonight, Peter Lorre. To a lot of people, an auction sale is a very serious business. But to Andy, it's just another way of keeping himself occupied without resorting to that distasteful thing called work. Andy has just returned from one of these auctions now, and he's in his office talking to his friend Amos and the Kingfish.
So you've been at one of them auctions again, ain't you, son?
Yeah, but this time I done bought something.
What did you buy, Brother Andy?
I don't know, but I paid $5 for it.
Oh, $5?
Yeah.
How come you pay $5 for something that you don't know what is?
Well, Amos, you know how they works it at these auctions. You bids, you bids by nodding your head.
Uh-huh.
Well, the auctioneer man put this thing up just as I was dozing off, and he say, who'll bid $5? My head kind of dropped down. He say, you got it.
Yeah, and you done dozed yourself right out of $5 there. That's what you done.
Yeah. Hey, Lightning, bring it right in here.
Yeah, what has he got there? I'll help you with it, Lightning.
Set it right down here.
Y'all just kind of steady it there for me, Miss Amos, if you will.
Okay, Lightning, you can go now.
You promised to pay me 50 cents for this, Miss Andy.
Yeah, well, send me an itemized statement of the whole business.
But, Miss Andy, you can't itemize one item.
Andy, you mean to say you paid $5 for that old steamer trunk? What is in it?
Well, that's what I don't know. You see, fellas, instead of going to one of them regular auctions, I went to one of them railroad auctions where they sell what they call unclaimed baggage.
Oh, yeah, and I know what you mean, where you don't know what's inside or nothing, and neither do the railroad company.
Yeah, that's right. I ain't been able to open it yet because it's got them steel bands around it, and on top of that, it's locked and there ain't no key for it.
Mm-hmm. Tell me this, Andy, why did you buy something like that? You ain't got so much money that $5 don't mean nothing to you. Wait a minute, though, Amos. You can't tell nothing yet till he opens the trunk. His whole future might be inside there.
Yeah, that's right, Amos. My whole future might be right in that steamer trunk. Who knows what's in there?
Well, it seems to me the thing to do then is to see what's inside the trunk.
Well, I don't know how we're going to get them steel bands off there and all that. I ain't got no tools for it.
Wait a minute, sir. How about taking the thing over to Fluky Harris's basement? He got a laboratory down there, you know, and he's an inventor. And he can most likely invent a way to open the trunk.
Yeah, come on, Kingfish. We'll carry it over there. Lightning, you stay here in the office and hold down the fort.
Yeah, sir, Miss Andy.
Because I'm going to be busy with this thing for a while, so if anybody comes in with any business deals or anything, why, Lightning, you tell them that you don't know where I is. How you coming there, Fluky?
I'm coming along pretty good with the thing, Miss Andy. Listen, Fluky, we ain't paying you for the time that you were spending on hammering your thumb there. Yeah, well, I think I got it here, fellas. All I got to do now is a little prying here. Yeah, there we is. That's got it.
Yeah, boy, that was some job.
Now, what about the lock?
Yeah, can you open that, Fluky?
Yes, well, I try. Kingfish, look at my scientific equipment there in the box and see if you can find me a hairpin.
Oh, please pardon me. I say, please pardon me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, yes.
Is this Mr. Brown's office?
Yes, sir. Did you want to see somebody?
Oh, I'm so sorry to have awakened you.
Oh, that's all right. I was going to wake up later anyhow.
Is this Mr. Andrew Brown's office?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. This is his office, but he ain't here right now.
My name is Peter Lorre.
I didn't get the name. What is it again?
Well, it's unimportant, but I would like to see Mr. Brown about a steamer trunk. One that has metal bands around it.
Well, he wouldn't be interested in that, I'm sure, because he bought one just like that this morning. He don't want it.
Yes, that's the one I wish to see him about.
Yeah, well, I don't think he'd be interested in selling it neither, because I hear him say that his whole future lies in that trunk.
And it so happens that my whole future lies in that trunk, too.
There sure is a lot of futures in there, ain't it?
Do you know where I can find Mr. Brown?
No, sir, I don't know where you can find. Miss Brown left here a while ago with the trunk to see if he could get them bands off it and see what was in the thing.
Young man, that trunk must not be opened. And for the safety of all concerned, it would pay you to find Mr. Brown. Oh, please pardon me, but I cannot stress too strongly the importance of finding him at once. And when you find him, I would suggest that you tell him that it would be advisable, and I'm willing to...
Fluky, you ain't getting nowhere with that hairpin.
Yeah, Fluky, ain't you got a skeleton hairpin round here that will fit any lock? Well, I tell you, fellas, I'm doing the best I can. Don't forget that the whole principle of a lock is to keep people out. And it just so happens that this lock is making a good job of it.
Oh, look, Kingfish, maybe you better go out and get a locksmith somewhere.
All right, Anna. That's what I'll do. I'll go out and try to dig up one. See you in a little while, fellas. I'll get on up the steps.
Be sure to get a good locksmith, too.
Well, Lightning, what you doing over here?
I was just going down to see in Fluky's basement. Is Mr. Andy down there with Fluky?
Yeah, he's down there. What you want to see him about, Lightning?
Well, a man come to the office to see him about the trunk. There's some reporting stuff. I got to tell Mr. Andy about it right away.
Oh, there is, huh? Now, don't rush. Just take it easy. What you got to tell him?
Well, the man said that the trunk belonged to him, and he been away for a long time, and he went down to the railroad station to claim it, and he found out that Mr. Andy done bought it at auction, and he said that he'll give Mr. Andy $50 for the trunk, and Mr. Andy must not open up the trunk or he won't give him nothing. And he give me his address where Mr. Andy can take the trunk tonight and get $50, and I guess that's all he say.
Well, sure is interesting, Lightning. Want to give Andy $50 for the trunk, huh? What is the man's name and address?
Well, I didn't get his name, but here's his address fit on a piece of paper right here.
Thank you, Lightning. I'll tell Andy about it.
Wait a minute, though. I was supposed to find Mr. Andy and tell him right away. He got to be told fast.
Yeah, I know he's got to be told fast, but you was a slow talker, and that's the trouble. Yeah, I ought to be the one to tell him, because I was a fast talker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. Yeah, I can rattle that stuff off. I really rattles it off.
Yes, sir. That sure was fast, all right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can talk even faster than that, but wouldn't be no point to it. You see, Leighton, I can talk 178 words a minute, but Andy can only listen 112.
Well, I sure would like to tell him myself.
No, Leighton, no, don't do that. Listen, I got a better idea. Let me copy this down, that address there. I'll copy this down here, this address that you give me here, you see? Now, here, you take it, too. Here it is. Now, you go to the man's place here and tell the man that Andy will be up with the trunk tonight unopened.
All right, Brother Kingfish. I'll tell the man.
$50, huh? Well, boys, no luck. Just down to the drugstore, phoned 5 locksmiths, couldn't find none of them in nowhere.
Oh, no luck, huh? That's great.
Say, Andy, I wonder if you'd mind going up the steps with me. I want to talk to you private and confidential and under your hat.
Yeah.
Just take a second or two.
Yeah, well, I don't mind. Excuse us, Fluky, will you?
Oh, yes, that's all right. I'll just put her around here in the basement and invent something. I'll be here when you all come back.
What you want to speak to me about, Kingfish?
Well, now, Andy, we has always been partners in just about everything. But about this trunk deal, frankly, old pal, I kind of feel left out of things.
Yes, huh?
Yeah, I don't have that partnership feeling that we usually have together.
No.
Now, why don't you let me put up $2.50, Andy, and let me buy half interest in this thing with you?
Well, if you really
It's a deal. Now, look here. We'll draw up the agreement right now. Now, I got a fountain pen right here. Here's some paper on this table right here. Sit down over here. Come over here and sit down. Come over here.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, now sit right down. Now, of course, we want to make this thing legal.
Oh, yeah, sure, we got to do that.
Yeah, I'll just write at the top of the paper here, State of New York, November the 5th, 1943. Do that sound legal so far?
Yeah, that's, we is within the law there. Hey, what is you making all them lines on the paper there for?
Just drawing some lines on there. Now, there we is. Now, at the top of the contract, for the first inch, we'll do that party of the first part stuff.
Check.
Then we'll take the next 2 inches for the ipso factors and the null and voids and all them things. And another 2 inches for the extra clauses and the loopholes. Now, let me see here. Well, that leaves us about 3 inches for the seal and wax and the ribbon.
Yeah, that'll make a nice-looking contract, all right.
Yeah, you're right. Something to be proud of. Now, let's start writing the thing here. I say here at the beginning of it, I, George Stevens, being the party of the first part.
Wait a minute. I ain't playing no second party to no party or no first part.
Well, Andy, I gotta be the party of the first part.
Hold it right there. I is going to be the party of the first part.
You will?
Yeah, I is.
Now, wait a minute here. Well, Andy, I was very happy that these contracts is all drawn up and signed.
Yeah, read me that stuff up in the beginning again, will you, Kingfish?
Oh, yeah, start of the contract. Say here, Andrew H. Brown and George Stevens both being party of the first part. That's what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear right there.
All right, Andy, now look here. I'll give you $2.50. Here you is. Now, here is your signed copy, and here is mine.
Okay. Now, let's get back down in the basement and see what we can do about opening that trunk.
Oh, Brother Andy, I'm glad you mentioned that. Partner, dear, there's something I forgot to tell you. It just slipped my mind.
Yeah. I got a feeling that I just bought $2.50 worth of bad news.
Oh, no, it's good news, Andy, good news. Oh, yeah. Now, listen, the man that owns the trunk is done traced it to us and has done offered us $50 for it. Funny how those things like that can slip my mind.
Yeah, it is. Kept right on slipping, too, till after the contract was signed. Kingfish, you done pulled a fast one on me.
Oh, now, Brother Andy, don't say that to me. Don't hurt my feelings. Oh, you know how senseless I is. Just tell me, how can a partnership last when one partner talks to another one that way? And on top of that, you ain't never gonna regret this, Andy, because I'm gonna tell you something. I done already figured out a way how we gonna get more than $50 for the trunk.
Yeah? Let me ask you one question, Kingfish.
What is it, partner, dear?
How come that you remembered all this when I say something about opening that trunk?
Oh, there's another thing that I want to tell you. The man will only give us the money if he gets the trunk back unopened.
Unopened. That's a funny thing, ain't it?
Now listen to your partner. Look here. We gonna take the trunk up to the man tonight. But first, we is going up to your room at the boarding house and get dressed up, 'cause I is got an idea.
Uh-oh, the Kingfish has an idea. November 5th, 1943, Amos-n-Andy on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. There are a number of people that don't understand why we air Amos-n-Andy, since there are people who find it offensive. Well, you remember the First Amendment's supposed to guarantee offensive speech. But here's a comment that I regularly send people who inquire as to why we air it. As you may be aware, our program is not about sanitized history, but news and radio as it truly took place in the media of the day. To sanitize the programs of the time is to literally change history, which is something that we in America, as Americans, can't do. As the late philosopher George Santayana said in The Life of Reason, The Phases of Human Progress, back in 1905, so eloquently said, progress, far from consisting in change, depends on retentiveness. When change is absolute, there remains no being to improve, and no direction is set for possible improvement. And when experience is not retained, as among savages, infancy is perpetual. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. In the first of our daily 3-hour program, we quote directly from the newspapers of the day as the information actually appeared. We consistently point out how life has changed, how America is a much different place today. But if we do not continue to recognize how far we have come, how can we chart a course to the future? Thank you for your thoughts, and now you have a better understanding of mine. Now more of Amos-n-Andy, November 5th, 1943.
The Kingfish and Andy have dressed up in their best clothes and are now taking the trunk to the man's apartment.
This is the apartment right here, Andy.
Yeah, you know, I was getting kind of nervous.
Now, just calm yourself, Andy. There's nothing to be worried about. Lightning say that this man is such a nice, polite, sweet gentleman. Yeah, Lightning say that he would always say stuff like, if you don't mind, and pardon me, and I'm sorry to trouble you. Oh, boy, we really gonna push him around.
Yeah, well, I'll ring the doorbell.
Yeah, now remember, when we go in here and see him, act like we is rich men. Like $50 don't mean nothing to us.
Okay, Kingfish, I got the idea.
And try not to laugh when I start making a sucker of the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, good evening, gentlemen. Won't you come in?
Oh, yeah. Get a hold of one end of the trunk there, will you?
Yeah.
Oh, you can put it right there, if you please. Won't you sit down?
Well, we can't stay too long. We're going to a big cafe. Each one of us is going to have a $2 supper with all the trimmings. And we always leave a big tip for them, too. Oh, yeah, we really kick money around.
Yeah, we even check our hats with a hat check, yeah.
Well, I'm sure our business won't take long.
Oh, yeah, nice little apartment you got here. You don't mind if I smoke a big, expensive 25-cent cigar, do you?
No, not at all.
Yeah, this is a nice room you got here. Nice decorations you got on the wall there, too. Tell me this, mister, is them real guns hanging up there?
Well, they shoot bullets, if that is what you mean.
Do you ever shoot one of them guns?
Oh, occasionally.
What'd you shoot at, them targets with the round circles on them, a little bit of hole in the middle?
No. I don't shoot at that kind of target.
What do you do then? Stick tin cans on the fence and pop them off? That kind of stuff?
No, I do not pop off cans.
Then maybe go out and shoot birds, huh?
No, I don't shoot birds. Birds have a right to live.
No, yeah, what else is there to shoot?
Oh, there are things.
Wait a minute. We is in the right place here, ain't we? I just want to ask you, mister, you is the sweet man, ain't you? The one to say please all the time, sorry to trouble you, pardon me, and all that stuff?
You sure got a nice, comfortable place here, all right. I can see that you kind of take life easy, don't you, mister?
Yes, I take life very easy.
Yes, just one more question I want to ask you. You know how people is always joking. You was kind of a kid, ain't you? You know what I mean? A lot of things you say don't mean... you joke a lot and all that stuff, don't you?
Well, I do have my lighter moments.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah. Now, let's get down to business.
Oh, that's an excellent idea. Of course, I assume you haven't opened the trunk.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. We don't know what's in there.
Very good. Now, according to our agreement, I'll pay you $50 and you leave the trunk here.
I don't know about this. November 5th, 1943, Amos-n-Andy on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. A conclusion next. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now the conclusion of Amos-n-Andy with their guest Peter Lorre from November 5th, 1943.
Just a minute now, Mother. Just a minute there. Hold yourself there. We is done seed by now, and you is done seed that we is rich men. Now, after all, we is going to have the $2 supper after we leave here, and they're going to smoke another 25-cent cigar.
What are you trying to say?
We just trying to tell you that $50 don't mean nothing to rich men like us.
Oh, I can see you want more money.
Yes, sir. We want $65.
All right, I'll be very happy to pay you $65.
In that case, we want $75.
All right, let's make it $75.
Yeah, no, we want 100. We want 100.
I do not like bickering. It disturbs me.
Well, now, wait just a minute here. This is a free country, and we as American citizens. And we got a right to bicker if we want to bicker.
Yeah, we want $100.
And I must ask you again not to bargain with me, because it sometimes makes me do things that I'm very often sorry for.
Well, we is standing our ground. $65 or nothing.
Then it will be nothing.
Brother Andy, I think we got a little ground to spare. We can back up there a little bit, yeah. Let's make it 50.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was our original agreement.
Yeah.
If you'll pardon me a moment, I'll get the money out of my desk here.
Okay. Say, mister, you know I got awful thirsty in the last 5 minutes. Can I get a drink of ice water around here? I'm kind of hot, too.
Oh, you may go back in the kitchen and you'll find ice cubes in the icebox.
Oh, yes. Thank you a lot. Thank you a lot, sir.
That's $50 that you is getting there. Is that right, mister?
Yes, it is. And I know that you would rather have it in cash than a check.
Oh, yes, sir. Cash don't keep bouncing back on you. Yeah.
That's very true, and it's very fortunate that
Don't make a move, anybody. We're police officers. Keep them covered, boys.
What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Never mind the small talk, Lorre. We finally caught up with you in that trunk. Put the cuffs on him, Joe.
Wait a minute now, gentlemen. Look here. Now, don't try to revolve me in this thing. I give you my word, mister. I don't even know what's in the trunk.
But we know there's $200,000 worth of stolen negotiable securities in there. We knew it was in there the day it was checked at the depot. And we've been waiting a year and a half for the owner to claim it.
Year and a half for a policeman? Very clever.
When the trunk wasn't claimed, we let the auction go through, and we knew that the owner wouldn't be far away.
Yeah, but mister, I was innocent. I tell you, I didn't know none of this stuff. I didn't even know what was in the trunk.
We know that.
Yeah, so that's the truth, mister. The way the things stand now, I got $2.50 invested in that trunk.
Well, I guess you're just out $2.50.
Excuse me a minute. I just want to go back in the kitchen.
All right, come on, boys. Let's take a look around the room here before we get going.
Oh, what a pal was Mary.
Brother Andy, ain't you got that glass of water yet?
Oh, I having trouble with these ice cubes. I done busted my fingernail and everything else. You want a glass?
No, thank you. Partner, dear, there's something that I want to talk to you about. My conscience has been gnawing at me.
Oh, sure enough? About what?
It's been saying to me, Kingfish, you ain't got no right to half interest in that $50. That money ought to all belong to Andy.
No fooling. Is that what your conscience has been saying to you?
Yeah, Andy, sometime I do believe that my conscience thinks more of you than it do of me.
Yeah, well, tell you the truth about this thing, you really is done pulled a fast one on me this afternoon.
Yeah, I know I done pulled one on you, Andy, and that's why I want to unpull it right now. I got my contract. Is you got your contract with you?
Yeah, sure, I got it right here.
Give me that. We'll tear them both up. Yeah, now, course, you got to give me my $2.50 back so everything be level and even and all that stuff. We won't be fair about the thing, you know.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, I'll give you that right now. Here it is. There's 1, 2.5.
Thanks, Andy. I feel a lot better now.
Yeah, I do, too. I ain't even thirsty no more. Come on, let's get back in the parlor.
Okay, ex-partner, dear. You come right on here.
You know, Kingfish, you was a pretty good pal after all. I would say that you... hey, what is those cops doing in there? Where's they going with the man in the trunk?
Brother Andy, I was glad you mentioned it. I forgot to tell you, it must have just slipped my mind. You say you ain't got no idea, Amos, why they wanted Andy to come down here to the police station, is you? No, I ain't. They just told me to come down and told him to come, and he asked me to come with him, and they said for him to come down as fast as he could. So I come down with him here. He's in the room there now with the police, I think. When I heard that y'all was down here, well, I figure I better come right over here, too, to make sure that Andy don't tell him that I know nothing about this trunk mess. Oh, in other words, Kingfish, you want to make sure that you is clear of the thing, don't you? Yeah. I don't want to be implicated with that trunk. Of course, if Andy go to jail on account of it, I'll be glad to visit him and bring him some hot soup and things like that, you know. Yeah, I know. Look, here comes Andy out the room now. Yeah, maybe they're going to let him come out and say goodbye to us.
Well, hello, fellas. Hello there.
Listen, Brother Andy, you didn't revolve me in this thing, did you?
Oh, no. You was in the clear, Kingfish.
Oh, that's great. I know that you would protect me. Say, wait a minute. What is that money you got there in your hand?
Ex-partner, dear. I is glad you mentioned that. But the reason I come down here was to collect this reward. It must have just slipped my mind.
November 5th, 1943, Amos-n-Andy on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of the soap opera Claudia. This was originally broadcast November 5th, 1948.
And now, Claudia. The papers say it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. Clear and brisk and perfect football weather.
You really like football, don't you, David?
I sure do. It's a man's game.
Well, that's not enough reason to like it.
It's a very exciting, complicated game. There's a lot to it.
There's a lot more to it than meets the eye. I can never see the ball. I'm always looking at the wrong man, the one who doesn't have it.
Well, that's called a fake.
It certainly is.
But it's meant to fool the other team.
I think it only fools me. Mama? Aren't you jealous you aren't going to the game tomorrow, the big game?
Oh, I'm green with envy.
Yeah,
you see me throwing you jealous looks?
You're all excited about it, eh, darling?
Mm.
You meet a lot of my college friends. We're sitting with my class.
What were you, 38 or 39?
39. Next year's my 10th anniversary. Good heavens, how time flies.
I'd like to have known you while you were at college. Maybe I should have gone to college. I wonder what I would have been like.
You'd have been expelled. I could hardly get you to finish high school.
Well, college is different. David, please explain to me about football.
I thought you knew all about it.
Well, I know that the object is to carry the ball down the field across all those white lines, and that one team tries to keep the other team from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And they get turns at it, and every now and then they kick the ball, and that's why it's called football.
Well, I think you have a very clear picture of the whole process.
I have?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then why am I so confused?
That is the natural state of your mind.
Hope it won't be cold. My feet just die when it's too cold.
Wear galoshes.
You mean I should meet your friends wearing galoshes?
Everybody wears galoshes at a football game.
Oh, not I.
You don't go to football games.
Mama, don't you care what David's friends think of David's wife?
Not much. I'd just as lieve they say to themselves that David's wife wears galoshes than for you to come home with pneumonia.
I never get pneumonia.
More luck than brains.
We'll have a box lunch.
If there's anything I hate, it's a box lunch.
I love box lunches. They always taste different from food on a table. And coffee out of a thermos. Is there anything as good?
Mm-hmm. Coffee in a cup.
You're such a killjoy.
I'm not going to a football game with sandwiches tucked under my arm.
Who said anything about tucked under your arm? You'll be sorry if you don't let me take a box lunch and you get hungry.
They sell hot dogs.
I prefer box lunches. They remind me of picnics. They're half the point of going to a football game.
I don't think you like football.
Of course I like football. I think.
Claudia likes anything where there are mobs of people and a box lunch under her arm.
David, please explain to me about the game. It's dreadful going someplace and being ignorant.
You want to know? Well, wait till I get my pipe. I don't seem to have it on me.
Maybe you left it in the dining room after dinner.
Yeah, that must be where it is. Get a pencil and paper, Claudia. I'll
All right.
draw you a little picture.
He's so excited, Mama. Just like a little boy.
It's his team that's playing.
They're supposed to win. I don't know, I just couldn't get so excited about it, even if I were a man.
I don't think you like football.
I hate it.
So do I.
I even hate it in the movies and on the radio.
No question of it. It's a man's game.
Well, I'm glad you don't like it either, Mama. I don't feel so lonesome.
Maybe you'll like it better watching it in person.
Oh, no, it's worse. At home, at least, I'm warm and comfortable, and I don't have to wear layers of clothing.
You talk like an old woman.
Well, football makes me feel like an old woman. Everybody shrieking and howling. All I do is worry until the last man who's been knocked down picks himself up. It's so rough.
That's why they wear all that padding, so they won't get hurt. David says that...
I know why they wear all that padding. All it does is make them look so fierce, and they get hurt anyway. I'm really not excited about going at all.
That is a masterpiece of understatement, but don't tell David.
I won't.
It's months ago that he ordered these tickets, so just pretend you're thrilled.
Yes, easy for you to say you're not going.
Thank heavens I'm not.
If only it would rain.
Stop hoping. You'll only have to go in the rain.
They play football in the rain, too?
Rain, snow, or shine.
Why couldn't I have married a man who didn't go to college at all?
Are you complaining?
Well, I certainly am. Oh, well, maybe it won't be so bad. At least I'll be with David. It'll be fun watching him get all excited. Mama, aren't men amazing? They enjoy things so much.
Who enjoys things so much?
Men.
Or don't women?
Different things.
You have the pencil and paper ready?
I have.
You know, it's swell having a wife who's interested. Just as interested in this sort of thing as you are. You catching cold? I couldn't have married one if she'd been one of those namby-pamby women.
Hear that, Claudia?
I hear it, Mama.
A man's got to have a woman who is a companion. Now, come on, darling, I'll explain the game to you. Let me have that pencil now. Now, you see, it's not very complicated.
Yes, David.
Mm-hmm. Don't you wish you were going too, Mrs. Brown?
Well...
Mama, if you're dying to go, why, I'll give you my ticket.
Don't sacrifice yourself.
Oh, I'm not. It's worth it to me to see you happy.
You and David are going to the football game. I shall stay at home and mind Bobby and like it.
Why should you have all the fun? Oh, David, explain me the game quick before I say anything I oughtn't to.
Right, here, I'll draw it out for you. Now, there you are. Now, there are 11 men on the team.
I thought there were 9.
That's baseball.
Well, how is a person supposed to remember? 11 men on a team.
They each play a certain position, and there are tackles and the ends.
The ends of what?
Just the ends, the left end and the right end.
But an end is always 2 something, David.
Now, it just means that they play the right end or the left end of the field, that's all.
Oh, there's a right end and a left end. And where the goalposts are, that's the top and bottom.
One thing at a time. Now there are the tackles and the ends and the guards and the backs.
The backs of what?
The backs, they play in the backfield.
It's too complicated. What backs?
The halfbacks and the fullbacks.
And the drawbacks.
Very funny.
What position did you play, darling?
A halfback, but I wasn't on the varsity.
Halfback. That must be the best position on the team.
Now,
That's the one I'll have to watch. David, you'll have to point out all the halfbacks to me.
I can just see what kind of a football game this is going to be.
This is getting interesting. Go on.
Now, the field is 100 yards long, right?
If you say so.
And all those lines that go across it.
I know. To a bird, that field must look like a big washboard.
She's so domestic.
Yes. Well, now, those lines are 5 yards apart.
What's 5 yards? Those little white lines 5 yards apart?
What's so amazing about them?
Nothing. Go
Now-
on.
Now, the team that has the ball, this is the team right down here, that's supposed to carry it. They're supposed to carry it for 10 yards.
Is that all?
That's all.
Well, you can't go very far going only 10 yards.
Are you listening to me?
I'm listening. I'm only trying to be intelligent.
Well, stop trying so hard.
Yes, sir?
Now, a team gets 4 chances to travel 10 yards. And
I
they're
shouldn't
there.
think it'd be much of a struggle to go a measly 10 yards. I can go 10 yards in my eyes shut.
Yes, but there's no one trying to keep you from going 10 yards.
Well, I should hope not.
Now, each team gets 4 chances to travel 10 yards. Now, each of those chances is called a down.
A down. Like a feather.
A down like a feather.
I suppose it's called a down because everybody's falling on their faces. Down on their hands and knees.
Yes, that might be the reason. Now,
I hope nobody gets hurt tomorrow, David. I'd hate it if somebody got hurt.
Since when are you so squeamish?
It seems so silly getting hurt just playing a game. I'm glad you're not playing, David. All I do is worry.
Thank you. Now, as I was saying, if the team makes 10 yards in the 4 downs, they have a chance to make another 10 yards.
Is that all there is to it?
Well, it's a little more complicated than that, but...
I should think the team who has the ball would win.
No. I give up, Mother.
I don't blame you, David. Claudia, even I understand.
Well, you've lived a lot longer than I have, Mama.
Maybe I just ought to wait until tomorrow and explain it as it goes along.
David, sometimes they throw the ball.
That's called a pass.
Because it passes right by the man who's supposed to catch it. Is that why?
No, that's not why.
David, why don't you just let her find out for herself?
Why don't we just take a radio and I can listen to it while the game is going on, and then I'll know what's happening.
I wouldn't be seen with a portable radio under my arm. It's a rank insult.
To who?
It's worse than a lunchbox.
Oh, nice, the telephone.
Well, I answered. It's right here at my elbow.
If it's for me, I'm home.
You always think it's for you. Hello? Oh, yes. Oh, hello, Mr. Carrington. Oh, you're in New York.
What's he doing there?
No, we didn't expect you. Oh, you flew in for the football game. Good. Oh, your team's playing in New York, I see. Well, it's awfully nice of you to invite me, but...
Tell him you have a previous engagement.
Oh, yes, I like football very much. Oh, you're flying back right after the game. No. Well, no, I suppose there wouldn't be any other time to see you, but...
David, what's going on?
Hush up. How can he listen
Well,
to you talking?
Yeah, well, it's nice of you to ask me. Yes, I accept. I'd be glad to join you. Yes, I do want to discuss that revision on the south ramp for your freight terminal. Yes, I'll meet you in town at 12 o'clock at your hotel. Yes, that's right. That's the date. Yes, goodbye, Mr. Carrington.
David, you what?
And darling, I'm awfully sorry, but...
David, is it what I think it is?
No, it is. Carrington's in town, and he wants me to go to the football game with him tomorrow.
Well, I don't blame him.
And it is sort of necessary for business.
Yes. Go on.
So I just had to accept.
You had to.
You know, I had to.
But you were going to a football game already.
I know.
You were taking me.
You don't have to tell me.
Oh, you know.
I know, but I'm afraid I just won't be able to go with you. I'm sorry, darling.
David, I understand that you have to see Mr. Carrington.
You do?
Sure, so I won't be too disappointed that I have to stay home, and...
You have to stay home? Oh, no. There's no reason for you to stay home.
But I want to stay home. Why, I wouldn't dream of going without you. Why, you're all the fun.
Darling, you're being a swell sport, but I know how you've been looking forward to this, and you're going to go to that game.
David, really,
and so's Mama going with you.
I am?
Yes, Mrs. Brown, in my place.
But, David...
No. Don't protest. I've watched you all evening. You've just been dying to go to that ball game, and you didn't want me to know it. Now confess.
I won't confess any such thing.
Then it's all settled. You girls are going to one ball game together, and I'm going to another with Mr. Carrington, and that's that. That's that.
Mama, did you hear that laugh?
He laughs like a demon. He is a demon, what's more.
David, must we?
It's no use, Claudia.
You must, and you'll enjoy it.
I suppose we must. David, explain to me about the halfbacks.
Now, there are the tackles and the ends and the guards and the backs. Now, the backs are in the backfield, and the ends are around on the other side.
Students of work habits have found that the average person can't keep going at a steady pace indefinitely. And that's as true for you who work at home as it is for people in offices and factories. When you feel the need of a change of pace, go to the refrigerator, get an ice-cold bottle of Coca-Cola, pause and refresh yourself. Any job goes easier when you work refreshed.
Mr. King, how would you like 2 tickets for a very fine football game tomorrow?
Why, I have 2 tickets already, thank you.
Oh, I thought perhaps that you... Well, I guess there's nothing left to do but Claudia and I to go together.
Well, maybe you'll enjoy it.
I don't expect to, but I'll try. Oh, why do these things always have to happen to me?
Well, these things and a lot more happen to your daughter.
Just what do you mean by a lot more?
Well, on Monday, it's a little matter of a fracas with the telephone company.
Oh, dear.
Oh, not Claudia's fault. It's just that San Francisco calls.
Who do we know in San Francisco?
That's what Claudia wonders, too. Will we see you around on Monday, Miss Brown?
I'll do my best.
Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again Monday at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir.
There you go. November 5th, 1948, Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite radio station. Now, if you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available on demand at classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. You can stream our shows there, learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can find a list of places where you can download our shows so you can have them as podcasts. You can also contact me there. You can find our social media links. And if you'd like to help us expand our classic radio collection, you can buy me a copy. That buy me a copy money gets pooled so that we can purchase additional classic radio collections to bring to you right here on your favorite station. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the radio dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.